Hey, a little Sunday green room action.
It is still the green room, I will
Oh
say.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Even if we're not in the
Neither,
same room,
you know what's kind of
we're all
crazy?
in the same virtual room now.
Yeah, amen. We're all together. You
Yeah,
know what's crazy? I feel like my hotel room has the same color as your walls, kind of. Little different. Yours
really.
are a nicer color, but I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
can do that.
similar.
Sure.
Yeah, dude, it is crazy to be here. And we'll talk about this on the pod, but
I'll bet. It's so
I'm
cool.
I'm like spoiled in the way that I've covered a few of them, but it never gets old like going into Radio Row and seeing like a
Hmm.
huge picture of Jalen Hurts above like,
Totally.
and you know what? I'll save some of this for the pod. I don't want to do the show in the
Yeah,
green
yeah.
room.
Save it for the pod. Save it
Yeah.
for the pod.
All right.
Everyone doing good? Yay!
Yes.
So exciting.
Day 28.
All right, should we roll?
I think we shall.
Okay, we shall. Here we go. Just a fun hype pod. Let's roll. Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with you. Eliot from New Orleans. No
Yes.
big deal. Day 28, a Coral Buckhalter day. I think that's the best I got.
Wendell Smallwood. I don't know if that's
Coral
still.
Buckhalter.
Yeah.
Smallwood probably less good.
Yeah.
I
There
think.
had to have been a secondary
Yeah.
guy that was in there, but
You
no.
would
Day
think so.
28 here in New Orleans, which is I kept saying to Kristen throughout the week, and then this morning I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to New Orleans. I can't believe I'm going to New Orleans. She's like, Elliot, you bought the ticket a month ago. I'm like, that's fair. I was well aware that this could happen, but yeah, I mean, I was saying this to you prior to the pod, but I've been lucky enough. This will be my third Eagles Super Bowl and like my fifth or sixth Super Bowl I've covered. It never, ever, 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 ever gets old coming to a Super Bowl and seeing a huge picture of the Eagles players above Radio Row, seeing all the Super Bowl like shirts and hats in the airport when you get off that have the Eagles and the Chiefs on it. Already, I haven't seen a single Chief fan. I've been walking around New
Oh
Orleans.
yeah.
I've
That's what I
already
want to
seen a
hear. That's the
bunch of
kind of
Eagles
content
fans.
I need right there. Yeah.
There was a huge Eagles chant in the airport as we were all waiting for our bag. So it's really, really cool here. I'm super excited to be here. Obviously wish you and Tucker were here. We could go tear down Bourbon Street, but
You're damn
no,
right, buddy.
it's very cool. The Eagles just landed a few minutes ago, so they are safely in New Orleans. Their hotel is pretty much right around the corner. Everything's right here. So it's really, really cool. I'm excited for the week to get started. And I can just tell the Eagles are going to dominate the week. I can just tell. Like, they're going to dominate the week. The fans are going to be here all week. Media nights tomorrow, which we'll probably talk about now or tomorrow, whatever. But you already know the Eagles are going to dominate that. Like, Jordan Mailata, A.J. Brown, Saquon, Lane Johnson, Jalen, I remember in 2022, absolutely dominated media week or media night with his pressers, which is kind of crazy to say now considering how much we talk about him at the podium, but he owned Super Bowl week last time. So as I am here in New Orleans, the AC is working in my room now, so I'm feeling better about that. I'm ready to watch the Eagles dominate this week.
Yeah, no, it's definitely I think every Eagles fan woke up this morning and had the exact same thought 1 week
Yeah.
ago. Like, I can't believe we're a week
A
away
week
from
from
the Super
today.
Bowl.
A week from
And
today.
it's like it's this level of anticipation that is unmatched by anything. We've already had a week of it, and now it's like it's go week. It's real now, and it's like both excitement and nerves and anticipation. And I'm so excited. You might expect I've had Super Bowl 52 on upstairs.
Okay,
like
not
a perfect day to bust it out.
Not
Emily
57.
and I just watched the Philly special a little bit ago. What a play! You see the moment where Nick goes over and you see Doug like you want Philly, and he just stops. He's like, yeah, let's do it.
What a pause! Yeah, it is great.
Let's go, man! I'm so freaking ready. I can't wait to see this team play. And look, you're in New Orleans. Let's dive into this because first, inner excellence.
Speaking of Super Bowl 52, should we do a little inner excellence?
I'm sure Jim will be roaming Radio Row.
I just realized I'm gonna have to do this every day now because you don't have the book.
Point. Yeah, so, it's on you, buddy. You got to carry the load. Me.
All right. Actually, this is pretty funny. The chapter's called "The Life, Diamond, and the Pursuit of Zoe."
No way, really?
I mean, I feel like I'm maybe misreading it, but that's what it says, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Zoe. Yeah.
That's Zoe. That's amazing.
I mean, no why, I guess.
What are the odds of this?
Yeah. Every day, we wake up with the choice. Do we let our natural self-centeredness and ego lead us towards doubts and fears, or do we choose to focus on love, wisdom, and courage? This is how I feel about my AC being broken, because I was literally in the worst mood for like 25 minutes. I was walking with Dave Zangaro. I was like, is this whole week going to suck because my AC is broken? I could have let myself lead doubt and fears, but instead, it's fixed, and now I'm focusing on love, wisdom, and
It's good
courage.
work by you right there,
Yeah.
man. That's special stuff. I'll tell you something I was thinking about, and I'm sure, I think all of us as sports fans had the moment, whether it was last night at 1 a.m. or this morning when you woke up, where you looked at your text or Twitter and said,
Crazy.
Oh, that's not real. But so the Luka trade, obviously, we're talking about.
Right.
I actually thought it was a joke when my buddy sent it to me, but I did like it. Funny enough, and maybe it's just from the Super Bowl and all I can think about is Eagles, but like my first thought that I was like, what a ridiculous trade. And my first thought was, thank God we have Howie Roseman. Like we would never have to worry about something like this happening. Like it was my first thought was like, wow, like imagine your team being run by someone who would do that.
So not only would Howie have gotten way better value for Luka, I do think I could picture a world where if the Eagles traded a Luka equivalent player, and I don't even know if it would probably just be Jalen, or I guess Saquon maybe, but regardless, if they traded one of those players, I could see it just dropping like a bomb because nobody would know about it. But the fact that the Mavericks didn't talk to a single other team and all they got was Anthony Davis and one draft pick is absurd. Like if they would have gotten 5 first, and you're like, whatever, you got good value.
Sure, I guess. Even then, I wouldn't trade the 25-year-old guy who was in the finals last year. Like, what are we doing? It's crazy.
I have 2 thoughts off that before we turn back to Eagles.
Sure.
One, it just made me think, how many firsts will they have to attach to Joel Embiid to trade him? If you get one first-round pick for Luka.
I don't think this trade will be a barometer.
It's such a craziness, but yeah. And then the second one is, so I think this trade was the ultimate litmus for basketball group chats. If your chat wasn't going crazy this morning about this trade, then it's not a basketball group chat.
I mean, it's the craziest. Just not. Yeah. I was texting with Mike Angelina, shout out to Mike, WIP, and he said, and Mike doesn't, if he says something, he truly means it. He says, it is the single craziest tweet I ever read in my life. And I was like, know what? It's fair. Like it was like, what? Yeah. Anyway,
it was.
So I got someone in the chat. And look, Dallas fans, that's fun. So
yeah, it's a good point actually.
Yeah, so he is correct, or her. Shout out to Martin
that's
Weaver.
what I was gonna say.
So I was almost gonna interrupt you at the beginning because you kept saying it, and I was gonna be like, or New Orleans.
So it's not New Orleans.
No, it is absolutely New Orleans.
New Orleans. So almost like a IN instead of a bunch of E's and an S.
Sure.
New Orleans.
Yeah, it is New Orleans.
I am
100%.
I am in New Orleans.
There we
go. That's the way to say it. There we go.
All right. So set the scene for us. I know that you mentioned it, but I've seen it on Twitter and all the, there's videos that, it's Super Bowl everywhere. You get off the plane and there's stuff at the Super Bowl. Like, take us through, the flight down, getting to New Orleans and kind of the whole vibe.
Yeah, so first of all, the Philly airport, not to take you to this level of detail, but I said it before, it's just super cool to see all the Eagles Super Bowl stuff. You know me, I'm a big collectibles guy. I love collecting things. You were saying if I bought Eagle stuff, I do think I would have the sickest collection. So seeing all this stuff is really, really cool. All the different hats, all the different whatever. My flight, all Eagles fans, all Eagles fans in media, pretty much. Everyone had on. I respect the fans are coming out here for a full week. That's pretty crazy. But what's nice about New Orleans is that it's a very not small city, but it's all very compact. It's not super spread out. So when you get down here, the Radio Row is right across the street, pretty much from my hotel. The Eagles are staying 10 minutes away. The Chiefs are 5 minutes from that. In the Superdome, I mean, I've been here before, obviously, for other Eagles Saints games, but that's pretty much downtown. There's literally Super Bowl logos everywhere. All the big skyscrapers have huge Super Bowl logos. There's a big one of the Mannings, I guess, for some whack.
Well, they have that field goal kick thing.
That we don't support. Yeah, we're a Bet Parks family. But
that's right.
No, I mean, like I said, it's just cool to see all the Jalen stuff, and that is kind of my main thought for this pod. I would say is, this is a huge week for Jalen. He was at the Eagles did a goodbye, a going away party at the link where the players went,
I saw videos,
which is really cool, well attended. Shout out to Eagles fans. But Jalen had a hoodie on that had the 2 different colored Jordans, and they had him blocked out, banned. And Jalen is, when he wants to be, super charismatic. He's the coolest. He can be the coolest.
He can be so cool.
He can be so cool. He can be charismatic. He's a Jordan athlete. He gave all of his teammates, I saw this, personalized beats that have the New Orleans stuff on them. So I think Jalen is poised to dominate this week. And like I said, like he's everywhere. Like every single Super Bowl logo thing that has a player on it is Jalen. So for all the haters out there that are like, he's not a top 5 quarterback and he's just along for the ride. Well, guess what? There's 2 players that are the face of the NFL this week, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. And he's everywhere. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe here. I will say it is hotter here than I expected, not just in my room, but like the weather is nice. It's in the high 70s, low 80s. The Eagles probably just arrived at their hotel, I would guess, relatively, probably a few minutes ago. They're going to have most of the day off today. They don't really have anything media-wise until media night tomorrow night, which is, I believe, 8 to 9 p.m. your time. And then we talk to them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I believe they're going to practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We don't talk to them on Friday or Saturday. So they're going to practice, I think, at the Saints facility. So, they're not going to Tulane.
Well, they know the future head coach, so maybe.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Inside scoop,
it'll be a nice week for Kellen Moore to get a look at his future employer. But no, I mean, it's just super dope. Like as exciting as it is now, I just can't wait for all the Eagles fans to get here on like Thursday and Friday, Saturday. It's going to be a really awesome week. So very, very cool down here for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be such a neat thing, and I do think, look, you never know how the Super Bowl crowd is going to shake out because they are weird and corporate, and there's all these factors involved.
It's going to be mostly Eagles fans.
It's going to be mostly Eagles fans, man. And I think the combo of it being in New Orleans, which is somewhere people want to go anyway. It's like, oh wow, we could do these 2 things together. Eagles fans travel anyway. I really do think you're going to feel it and you don't very often when you're watching the Super Bowl, but I think you're going to feel Eagles fans when you watch the game.
And I also think that, look, the Eagles are America's team this week. And
by the way, great. Yes.
we should talk about the Australia thing. But I mean, the Eagles are a primetime front and center franchise. Like when the NFL does something, they want the Eagles involved, as evident by the fact they went to Brazil, as evident by the fact it looks like they're going to Australia,
which is now insane.
I know. I'm sure. Yeah, we'll talk about it. But now to have the Eagles in the Super Bowl, the NFL could not be more thrilled because the Chiefs have been 4 or 5, 6 at this point, however many they've been to.
5 out of the last 6.
5 out of I don't know, are Chiefs fans spending all the money to come down here? It is a very expensive ticket. I'll say that to the Eagles fans that are coming. Good job by you. Like that.
Yeah,
it's quite a bit of money to put out.
It is one of those things though, where obviously it's a wild swing depending on how the game goes, but it's rare you buy something, whatever it costs, and say this thing has the potential to be the greatest night of my life.
Yeah.
And if you're in the building to watch the Eagles win a Super Bowl, right up there with the greatest night of your life. So it's such a swing on buying those tickets. You could either be the greatest thing ever or like a crap. It's such a wild thing.
I don't want to jinx it, but I had an image today in my head that I feel like will be iconic. All right, so it's a dome, and the way the Superdome is set up, it's a little like the Lakers. Remember the Lakers, how the court is brighter than the stands, and the stands are kind of the Superdome's kind of like that. I had this vision today of Saquon breaking one and just running, and all the lights going off with the photos, and it's good. I mean,
it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be crazy.
Obviously they haven't gotten a plane since I think it's November 24th or something.
Yeah,
they got,
it's like 70 something days. I think I saw
70 something, insane. But also they haven't really played on turf much this year. When you think about it, even the away games they played a lot of grass fields. And if it is turf, it's, trash up in New York or whatever that they do in Washington. This is going to be interesting. We have not really seen this team be able to kind of move like we know they can.
So, all right. That I was not a big field guy last time. Not a big field, field gate. Let me tell you what I did.
I was the biggest.
You were.
Field, yes.
But let me tell you what I'm going to do. It's partially for you. It's for the fans. It's for everybody. I have a pass to go on the field tomorrow. I also have a pass to go on the field Friday. So I'm going to see if the field is the same on Monday as it was Friday. And if the field is wet on Friday, I'm going to do my best to make news of it, to get it going, tweet it. I'll do the thing that, right? I feel like someone needs to do this from Philadelphia. I'm sure the Eagles will.
You're doing yeoman's work here.
Nobody gets shamed into something like they do on social media. Social media is what really makes things move. So if I exceed, maybe I'll run. I don't know if they'll allow me to do that, do a little cutting. But I'm going to test the field out on Friday for sure.
Love it. Look at you doing the
I'm
important
trying,
stuff.
you know,
And then
it's all for
the
you,
beat
buddy.
writer
It's
we
all for
need,
you. It's
buddy.
all for you.
I do care. Yes. But I feel good, confident that we won't have that sort of
Yeah, well, I would hope so.
disaster
I don't
again.
know how that
Yeah.
would happen, but
What are the odds? Like, come on,
yeah.
Man, I am
Do you want to talk
I'm
about
just
Australia for a minute? Just
sure. I mean, I don't
it's
really
only
have a ton to
newsworthy
say
thing.
other than I think it's asinine to have a team play a game 25 hours away or whatever that was. Maybe it's shorter when it's direct, whatever. And I think it's a disadvantage for the Eagles. It's cool. I get it. It's a showcase on, but like they just went to Brazil, and in 2 years we're gonna lose another home game to go to Australia. Like, I don't know. I'm strongly anti, but do it in a decade, do it in 5 years with us or whatever. But like to go twice on those kinds of trips, like I don't love it. But
well, you know what's kind of crazy? So the Eagles lost a home game this year. They won't have an extra home game next year, if I'm doing this right. And then in 2026, in theory, it looks like they're going to lose another home game. Mm-hmm. So they'll probably be the only, I guess the Packers, they're not going to Australia.
Not going to
the
Australia.
Eagles will be the only
Packers
team.
If they go to like London and lose a
who
game
knows?
or something. Yeah.
But they could go 3 straight years without an extra home game. So that's part of it. So look, my thing on Australia. Obviously I'm excited because I'm going to get to go. Like there's no masking that. And like doing the Brazil thing and seeing the Eagles fans there for the week. And like, I literally still talk to some people that went from that trip. Like it's a really cool bonding experience. And for the players, it's very cool as well. But I definitely get the point of it being a disadvantage from a schedule. Like obviously me and you talked about it in week 7 or 8, how like I was even feeling the effects of doing like Brazil, New Orleans, Tampa, LA, Dallas. Like, so the other thing to consider with this is, and I think this is right, they're going to Australia in 2026, and then they're also going to San Francisco and I think it's Arizona. Yeah. So I will be curious to see how they schedule it. Maybe they'll do like back to back, so they go out to the West and then they go to Australia and then they come back. But there's a world where they fly out to the West Coast and then beyond with Australia, obviously 3 times.
Dude.
It'd be a big week for Jordan in my life.
Don't love it. Well, one of the many reasons that the main thing I said on the radio show yesterday, and the other than excitement, which is definitely the number one thing I feel, the number one thing outside of excitement is just they have to win. Like they have to win. They have to win. Like there are so many impediments that can happen on a team's way to winning a Super Bowl or a chance to win a Super Bowl. And man, how about the fact that Brandon Graham coming back? How about the fact we were like 2 years ago, oh, you'll never see a team this healthy again in the Super Bowl.
Here they are.
They're exactly the same. Like it's actually hard to process. Like when I stop and think about it logically, I'm like, no, like that doesn't make any sense.
And like, I don't remember in 2022 if they had guys who were dealing. I'm sure they did. Like they have the Landon and the Cam thing, which if I remember, it feels like a little more serious than anything anyone was dealing with that.
I think so too. The Jalen thing prior to the playoffs was like the biggest thing.
Right, that's right. Yeah. But regardless, like they still are going to have every defensive lineman they want, like they're completely healthy. So yeah. You're right. Like you say, you'll never have this opportunity again, but here it is.
Against the same team. Like it's just.
Yeah. And one thing I have been thinking about a lot since we're just kind of like saying random thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm starting to agree with you more. Like, I think that it's a 50-50 game. I wish they were playing a team that was easier to beat. Like, I get all that. But, like, you are right. Like, if they beat the Chiefs in this game, it does add to it. It does add to it. Like, let's say it was – I mean, remember what –
more special. It just
The Phillies beat the Rays in 2008, and that is still special for a lot of reasons.
But I'm with you. If it had been the Yankees, it would have been cooler.
Yeah, when the Eagles beat the Patriots, it meant more. Like, and I think beating the Chiefs, like, I also, and maybe this is a Drew from Westchester thing, but I think it has to be correct. Has there been a Super Bowl with more combined wins?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Oh, there you go. Perfect timing.
So I actually saw this. I think it's like something like 7th or 8th. Right? There's more. Shockingly,
really, I'm shocked with the extra game and everything. Yeah, Eagles have 14.
I think there must have been a couple like 15. Well, I know that Panthers team was 15-1.
Oh yeah, good point.
Maybe that Broncos team definitely had a lot of wins too. But I mean, I agree with you. It has to be up there. You would think. I mean, how many more?
That's crazy. Get? But I mean, and look, it's the week for hyperbole, but like. I don't know. This feels like the best Super Bowl ever in terms of opponents. Like, I'll just, I'm sure people will say
it's certainly one of them. Like, I think you can argue it. There have been some greats,
and talent. Yeah. No, I agree. So while it does suck, they're not playing a game where they're like 5-point favorites and you think they're definitely going to win, and there's like a real shot they lose. Like it will add to it if they win. Like if they can beat this Chiefs team, I mean, this is the pinnacle of the franchise in my like. This is the high
Well, they
point
would
of
have
the
beaten
franchise.
Brady and Mahomes. Like, I mean, that's like
Yeah,
pretty special. You know, I mean, that's
yeah.
pretty freaking special. Also, one bit of good news. The people looking for signs. I looked it up. Punxsutawney Phil did see his shadow back in
Okay.
2018 of
Oh, did
February.
he? All
So
right. There you
same thing
go.
again. So
Okay.
I don't know if that matters to people, but I did look it up.
I
So
think,
I
and
figured I'd mention it.
also, if we want to do random things, Kristen didn't come to the Super Bowl, and she came to the Super Bowl in 2017. She didn't go in 2022. She's coming now. So, just little things like that. I feel like other people must have the things. I know like where you're
There's so
watching it
many.
is a big
Yeah,
deal.
totally.
But yeah,
All right, should we get to final thoughts?
yeah. I feel like do we have anything else? I mean, excited to
I
be
got
here.
yeah,
Excited to get the
yeah.
week
I
going.
can't
Thank
wait.
you for everyone
Every
in the
day at
chat.
10.
Yeah.
Schedule coming up every day at 10. We're good to go. So normal schedule this week, and then obviously Saturday and Sunday. Sunday 10 to noon. Saturday normal time 1 to 3 on the radio.
The other thing I had, this is just a small thing, but I was texting with you earlier. Don't say what the tweet is, but like I'm ready to defend Jalen all week.
Yeah.
I am ready to be the guy on Radio Row that is willing to
I like
sit down
this. You're
across
just the
from
guy.
anybody.
You're like the guy we
Yeah.
need in multiple spots
Yeah,
this week.
exactly.
You're
I'm
really
gonna test
taking the
field.
mantle up.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Carson, but anyone on Radio Row wants to look me in the eyes and tell me Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Jalen, I will debate anyone that wants to do that this week. Like, I'm ready. So, it's not a time to. We'll do our own pod privately as a family and discuss Jalen versus Mahomes.
Right.
But out on Radio Row, like I'm ready. So
that's right.
We
defend our guys to the world. I love it.
Yes. All right. I got some final thoughts. You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. So here's a question. If you're like, let's say you're sitting next to Emily and you're just chilling, and you are like rapping a song to yourself, like you have something in your head, and she goes, "What did you say?" Would you say I was singing, or would you say I'm rapping?
I would say I was singing.
Me too, right? But I feel like it's rapping. I don't know.
Sure, but I mean, yeah. No, you're right.
Singing, I feel like doesn't do it justice as to what I was doing.
It's an interesting thought. You're right.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. I had it last night.
I think singing and rap, like, you could argue that rapping is a form of singing. I mean, there are different forms of singing that is like talk sing, like Frank Sinatra would like kind of talk sing and stuff like that.
Right.
So.
But I feel like if I say I'm rapping, it's like I'm kind of like really rap. Whereas if I'm singing, that sounds a little more casual. I don't know.
It definitely sounds more casual. It's weird to be like,
yeah,
I'm rapping. Yeah, I'm dropping bars.
Exactly. Like I'm just sitting next to you as I rap.
Yeah.
I feel
no, it's much weirder.
But it's not really
I think you're right. It is not the most accurate thing that you could say to describe what you're doing, but I think it is the correct way to interact with another human. So I think you're good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There we go.
I like it.
So that was it. That was the whole final thought. Not the best one, but it was a little. This is the definition of a thought, and that's what I had. So I
loved it. Sometimes we got to do those ones.
Oh man, I had such a good one. Remind me tomorrow. I have a good one about movies.
I have a great one saved for tomorrow too.
I'm gonna put a little fire next to it, so I remember to say it tomorrow.
Love it. Yeah, I starred mine for tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Mine for today is fun too, but it's just more of a shout out to New Orleans. As the spot that 13 and a half years ago, I had my bachelor party.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had 23 dudes came down to New Orleans for my bachelor party. It was insane. I'll tell two quick stories.
Well, really quickly. Mm-hmm. If anyone wants to know how much people that know James love James, 23 people. It's a good turnout. Yeah. That's a good turnout.
It was like the right age. Like I was 29. Exactly. It was like we were all kind of like.
People,
but yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. All my buds came. So two stories. One, my buddy Donnie. We had my buddy Jesse did a great job getting us a place looking over Bourbon Street. So we had one of those like
wow, that's really cool.
Porches that we could like look out and stuff happen. It was awesome. And they're like the horses that'll go down Bourbon Street or whatever. So there's like some
I can already smell the horses as I walked
exactly.
Around. Yeah.
My buddy Donnie. This is at like 4 a.m. We're all wasted and up on the porch looking down, and Donnie just kept like walking kind of like in front of people and forcing them to move the way they were walking so that they would step in the horse crap.
Oh,
and every time he'd be like, "Got him!" And it was like, this is and it was horrible.
Yeah,
but it was hilarious.
Well, let me tell you this.
It was really funny.
Nothing Well, other than my AC being broken, upsets my
There's nothing
day.
worse.
Like stepping in.
Nothing worse. Yeah.
It is.
At 4 in the morning when you're wasted, though, it's a little less
Yeah, it's a
bad
little
than starting
funnier.
your day.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
At 4 in the
yeah.
morning, it's different. Doing it to
Yeah.
like a family at 7.
It's
or, you
definitely.
know,
Oh no.
yeah.
This is like late night. You know.
Yeah,
This
I thought that's pretty
bachelor party behavior. Speaking of which, the other funniest story was we went. It was like this must have been like 5 in the morning or something like that. And the cool thing about New Orleans, you could just walk into any bar and they've got music playing, or everything's open all night. So we ended up at a strip club somewhere on Bourbon Street. This like whatever. And this place is. Yeah, this place is dead. Like, there's no one there. Nobody. Like, or there are people there, but no one's going crazy. Like, it was just like, all right, we're just kind of sitting there. A big girl came out. That's all I'll say. I've never seen anything like it, dude. Like, the entire place went crazy. Like, one dude
maybe told me this story.
One dude, literally, it's the only time I've ever seen someone actually make it rain in person. Like, this guy was just going boom, 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 boom. It was one of the great experiences.
You were making it rain? I couldn't picture him making it rain.
I was definitely not making it rain. No. I was definitely not one of the ones going crazy at any point. But it was really fun. So New Orleans is a great time.
So I'm going out tonight. Ike, Hugh, Gilio, Spike, and Fritz. It'll be quite the experience. Yeah.
Wow,
Jack doesn't strike me as a New Orleans guy. Jack doesn't strike me as a New Orleans guy. So I'll be curious to see how he feels about it.
You just got to get him to dance, you know?
Well, yeah, we've seen that, so maybe not.
Just get him to dance. That's all we want. All right, have fun. That's awesome.
Yes.
Say hi to everybody.
I will.
10 o'clock tomorrow and all week. Like, wow, man, we are a week away. This is so cool. So cool. All right, Eliot's going to be on it for us all week. He's got important jobs.
Can't wait.
He's going to update them, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.